People are going to lose their minds.
It's like a pop art reboot of this classic film.
I actually thought maybe the ship had sailed as far as like doing new material, and I was wrong.
We had this up-and-coming season that a lot of it's set on the West Coast and quite a bit of it in the Fortnite version of Los Angeles. And we felt, well, what better way to celebrate that than have some sort of partnership with one of America's greatest directors, Quentin.
And I said, yeah, well, that really sounds cool. I think it would be a wonderful fit for both the game world and for the characters. And I resisted doing it for a very long time, and I think I resisted waiting for when the time was right. Well, Fortnite seemed right. Something more cinematic inside of a much bigger world.
I asked him the question, I'm like, Quentin, in all your years of directing all these amazing movies, there must have been scenes that you either had to cut or weren't able to film because of whatever circumstances. And he said, well, it's funny you mentioned that. There's a scene in Kill Bill that we really, really wanted to make called Yuki's Revenge that was just not possible to film at the time. And that was really what catalyzed this piece.
When I wrote the first draft of the script, there was a lost chapter that frankly I just didn't think we could pull off. And Yuki has been a figment of my imagination for over 20 years.
For him, the characters are very much alive and real and exist. And so, in a way, letting one of his unborn characters be birthed and come to life in this way was really exciting.
But I'll be honest, I wouldn't be that excited just web spinning something that I would think would be appropriate for a game. But the idea that this is actually a chapter from the first movie, but I was never able to film it, that just makes it a horse of a different color. And there's just a legitimacy to it that I think can't be denied.
One thing we're really aware of is that there are a lot of very dedicated Kill Bill fans out there, and I count myself among them. And even though we want to integrate the humor and the characters from Fortnite, we want to make sure that we still feel authentic to that world that Quentin's created. And that's why it's so important that we get folks like Zoe Bell and Uma Thurman involved, because you are asking somebody to sort of stand as the bride. That's a very hard thing to do. She has a certain posture, she has a certain way of carrying herself that Zoe and Uma know.
Playing the bride and just the whole creation of Kill Bill was probably the most incredible, holistic cinematic experience of my life.
You know, it's been a long time since I've been the bride, but it did start coming back. And I will say, with this technology, being able to watch myself as the bride whilst I'm moving, I mean, I was standing there and I was like, oh, that's it. I look like me. And then I'd move a little bit and go, oh, there's the bride.
Having Unreal's ability to render characters in real time is a huge aid, not only for animators, but performers as well. They could test certain poses, try different facial expressions, see what reads the best for that physicality that they're trying to convey.
Bringing Miyu Roberts into this production was great. Her being of the younger generation that kind of understands the types of characters that are in Fortnite and understanding how that connects to the world of Kill Bill, meaning she could see how all of those characters could exist in this world, and then she was able to bring that performance, that spark, bingo, to Yuki in the Fortnite Quentin Tarantino universe.
It's such a new and innovative way to film something like this, because I could see exactly what my body was doing, exactly what every prop was doing, exactly what things were reacting to within the world. And I didn't have to think about it because it was right there, and if I needed to reference it, I could. And I didn't have to worry too much about how it would look because I knew how it would look.
Having these guns on set that everyone knows is completely safe, but also having it play where you can see I'm reacting, so whoever's shooting the gun is literally training it past me, and it's all happening in real time. The car's falling apart, and you watch it back and you're like, we just did the whole lot, guys. That was amazing, you know.
When it comes to firing weapons in a virtual production, it's really important that they have that visceral reaction to the prop that they're using, but also that they know that they're hitting something. And so we have, what we call muzzle report attached to the end of the weapon, and that actually registers those shots in the Unreal Engine. And being able to have her feel like she's firing an actual weapon is something that we've never seen on a virtual production set before.
We knew that using Unreal Engine was going to be a key to us getting through this thing as quickly as we could. But there's a lot you can do with composition and camera work on the day that would have taken a lot more cycles with boards or with previs.
All of these tools are available for Unreal Engine users, so we want to bring this from professionals down to the home user and still get that same level of quality.
It's just really cool to see that you can get a couple of actors out there and just set your whole piece up there in real time. Which then led to our shoot in New York, in which we had Uma, obviously, who's playing the bride, and Miyu, who's playing Yuki. And our MetaHuman team has a head-mounted camera that we had on each of the actors. And so in getting the voiceover, we also got facial data from our actors. So we sort of got a bunch of things in one shoot that will then feed our final animation.
Quentin's actually a guy who loves funny moments and the exaggerated moments. So an animator is bringing a perspective of how to take the intent of this performance and be true to that performance. But there's still an artistic perspective that is being translated into the final product.
This was just sort of an all-encompassing sort of like soul capture. Hi, Uma. And it's so novel to wear the camera on your head, but I completely forgot about it. Just started to live in the moments of the scenes we were doing.
In about 2 minutes, there's gonna be an army of police here. So if you're gonna kill me, now's the time.
And getting to look at the animation and then imagine how to embody that image with sound to bring it alive, it was really a joy. And I hope that new generations fall in love with it the way I fell in love with the character.
The future for our combined industries is you tell stories across both mediums. You don't only get to see and listen to a story or watch a story, you also get to be part of that story and play in them events. And Unreal Engine and Fortnite gives you the ability to choose which way you go, and you can mix these things up in ways you would have never thought possible 10 years ago.
Fortnite has this incredible following that are following it in real time. I love the idea of millions of people watching it all over the planet Earth at one go.
It's bringing those two authentic worlds together into one package. And I think it takes all of these people who have knowledge of Kill Bill, people who have knowledge of Fortnite and the characters that exist there, and bringing those together and layering them on top of each other and creating something wholly new.